Hey guys, so today I'm going to be getting the K13 ready to go back on the road. It needs a service and an aux belt, and then going in for its MOT next week. It's been sat for a little while, so it needs a little bit of TLC. I'm just going to do an oil and filter today, which means I'm going to take the skid plate off, which should be alright. It's only 4 bolts. As you can hear, the aux belt is quite squealy, that's why we're changing it. So yeah, as you heard, the aux belt's quite squealy, so we're gonna change that for a new one because it's been parked for over a year now. But we'll start by taking the skid plate off. So as you can see, it's got this crossbar with a bolt on each side, and then there's 2 carriage bolts just at the back that go through the subframe. So I just need to take them off. You see a bit of battle damage right here. We'll get that off, and then I'll carry on with the service. I need a 2-poster wrap. And they're tight to get to, and I can't find my ratchet spanner, so this might take a while. I'll come back when I get there. Right, so I've got the nuts off the top, so it's all loose. I'm going to see if I can pry it out. There's a bit of tension on this side. There we go. Oh, lots of mud. So there's the coach bolts out. So we get the washer from on top of here. Yep. Right, that's all the hardware out the back. Let's go to the front. Yeah, I'm just going to support the bottom of it with a jack because it's quite heavy. I'll just put a block of wood across the jack. Roll it underneath. So I'll take these last 2 front bolts out. Right, that's enough anyway. That'll catch it. Right, so now we finally got the skid plate off, we can drop the oil out of it. Just got to take the sump plug out. Wrong way. There we go. Let that drain out, and we'll get the oil filter off afterwards. So I've just got the new filter out of the packaging. Look how small it is. Like, these new filters are tiny on new cars, but we'll get that fitted. Right, we'll put the sump plug back in because it's pretty much done draining now. It's just the last little dribbles. Get that back in and tightened up. Then we'll get the filter off. Not too tight. And with these grippy boys, we should just spin it off dead easy. There we go. Oh, and there comes all the oil. Sick. In the filter. And then try and put this on without spilling it everywhere. It's on a slight angle. It's going everywhere. There we go. Put the bucket back under it. Spin it on. I'm gonna have to get some rags or something just to like wipe it off so I can actually. I'll just use these. We'll give it a little nip. Not too tight. There we go. That's all nice and tight. So I'll clean that off. And then we can refit the skid plate. I've actually changed my mind. I'm going to do the auxiliary belt before I put the skid plate back on, just to give me a bit more room. So what we'll do right now is top the oil up. So I'll pull the dipstick out, clean it off a bit so we can see where our fill line is. This takes 4.5 litres with the filter, so I will just start topping it up and see where we get. The trick to pouring these without pouring them everywhere when they don't have a bit of a spout and you don't have a funnel is just to like lean it back a little bit, and then you don't get that glug glug that you would if you were just to pour it normally. It takes a bit longer, but you don't end up with oil everywhere. So I will come back once I've got it topped up. Yep, so there's half a litre left in there, so that should be right. I'll reverse it off the ramps, because I need to have it off the ramps anyway to jack it up to get the wheel off to do the auxiliary belt, because you've got to pull all the boost pipes off and everything just to get to it. So we will run it up and double check the oil again, but I can't really check it when it's on the ramps because it's parked like that, so I need to have it back on level ground and we'll double check it. Right, we'll just check it again, see what it says on flat ground after it's run through. Let me wipe it off. It's currently no bueno. There we go. So you can see nothing on the dipstick. So we'll just redip it, and that is bang on the money at full. So that'll do. Right, now we can move on to doing the auxiliary belt so it stops squealing at me. Alright, let's get the jack. We'll jack the front end up. Right, let's get these buggers off. Oh, come on. Wheel off. And now we need to pull all the boost pipes off to get access, and that means I need a flathead screwdriver and a 10mm. We put some gloves back on. You can tell how long it's been parked for by how they're not too bad, to be fair. The surface corrosion on them, but it should be alright. They're not horrendous. They were fairly recent discs when I parked it up. So alright, let's put that bolt there so I don't lose it. We'll get the Jubilee backed off and get this lower boost pipe off to the intercooler. There we go. Lower boost pipe off, and then it should just drop out. There you go. There's your boost plenum. Right, so I've got a brand new Gates belt to replace it. I'll get you guys a bit closer here. You can see a bit better. I don't know if you can really see. There's a 17mm there, and then you just loosen it off and it pulls the tensioner to reposition my arm so I can pull, and then you just pop the belt off, and there we go. So now I can just unfeed it from everything, and then you've got to kind of like feed it out around the timing mark. So there we go. As you can see, this one's not too bad. It's just been on for a little while. Like, it's not even cracking out, it's just old and dry. So we'll just compare with our new belt for length, just to make sure I got the right one, which I'm pretty sure I did. Yep, bob on the same size. And then here comes the fun part. I need to try and reroute it through everything, so I can't really get good access for you guys. So I will pause and I'll come back once I've got it all positioned. Your belt situated in here, all routed properly, nice and tight. So we'll put the boost plenum back in and get it all piped back up. There we go, that's clipped in, that should be easy. Get the boost pipe back onto the intercooler. And then we'll just tighten this back up. Sorry about that, the camera died. So I've got it back on the ramps, wheels back on. Just show you what it sounds like now. With no more squealing. Yeah, we'll get a bit of supercharger noise. But yeah, that's all good. So now we can refit the skid plate and get it back off the ramps. And then all I need to do really is clean out the interior, because it's all a bit green and grotty, and the steering wheel's sticky and the gear knob's sticky, and there's a tiny bit of surface mold on the passenger seat. Just needs a good interior clean, because it's been parked for a while. I'll wash the outside as well, and we'll just get it nice and tidy for its MOT. I've had a nosy under the underside. Everything looks all right still, so there's no nothing detrimental I don't think it will fail on. So let's refit the skid plate. See how far are we off? We're not far at all. Problem is, I don't think this jack will go much higher, because it's out of oil. So let's see if we can get it somewhere ballpark, and I'll be able to manhandle it into position. Right. There we go. That's one. And that's it. Right, I'll get all these bolts nipped up and get it back off the ramp. Right, so that's the Micra ready for its MOT. Oil, filter, auxiliary belt. I've been under the whole underside. Everything looks fine. The only thing it could possibly fail on is emissions, because there's no way of me testing that here. So like and subscribe if you like this video. It does need an alignment, so I might do an alignment video before we get to the MOT next week, because it's new between Christmas and New Year's, nowhere's open. But I'll keep you posted on if it passes or fails. Right, bye.